Hey guys, it's Wednesday. It's time for the funnest show on the internet, Prime Time, where we take apart 5 prime time games with the legendary, incredible, phenomenal, superb Prez and Joe Raneri and Rob Veno.
Holy Christ. How do you... I didn't realize you were that limber. You can blow that much smoke up your own ass. It's amazing to me there, Prez. It really is. I didn't realize you had that kind of ability.
Listen, brother.
Yeah.
Somebody has to blow smoke up my ass.
Like a fat chick bobbing for apples. That's exactly Am I the only one that looks blurry here or what? Can you see this? Are you guys coming across here? Because I don't know. It looks blurry to me.
Joe, even a blurry Joe is still a great Joe.
Like a fat chick bobbing for apples. I get it. I got it. We'll go there.
Okay, well, I forgot to turn the light on the right, so I'm going to do that now. Rob Veno, why don't you tell us how you are? I don't really care, so I'm just going to turn the light on.
Oh, well, then it's senseless to tell everybody how I am if you don't care, Prez. But for those who do care, I'm pretty good today. I'm good every day. Lots of football to handicap. What's not to like about today? World Series Game 7?
Yes.
Lots to be excited about today.
Yes. Also excited because it's, college football's got some nerve giving us this crap that we got a handicap here for this weekend, Week 10. But they'll make up for it next week when, Rob, we've got not 1, 2, 3. We've got 4 8-0 teams that are going to be battling there head-to-head. So they made up for it because this is an abomination this week. It truly is.
Yeah, we do primetime games here, and as I was going through them to get the list for us, you could throw out Thursday, you could throw out Friday. Saturday, 12 o'clock, we could only come up with Michigan, Maryland.
Yeah.
It got a little better later on in the day, but you're right. There's a lot of lopsided matchups here this week, Joe.
Yeah, no. It's disgusting.
Okay, Joe, are you calm now?
I'm better.
Okay, I ranted on Puck Time today. You guys should check that show out. Actually, a great show. And just to let all of you know, the World Series might be exciting, and Game 7s are always exciting. Joe, did you know this? There have been roughly 1,400 7-game series in all sports in North America. This is the first time ever that 6 games in a row have been won on the road.
So 14 divided. Yeah, that's a lot. That's actually a lot of games that this has never, ever, ever, ever happened before. And I'll throw you one more. If Washington does win tonight, that too will be the first time it ever happened that somebody won a World Series game never winning at home.
Like a fat chick bobbing for apples.
That's right. She never misses. Absolutely.
Well, she's hungry, Joe. It's apples.
It's a good point. It is an apple.
Yeah, brother. I mean, listen, a fat chick bobbing for like a score bar? Oh, my God.
Yeah,
that would break records.
How about Twix? You throw a whole bunch of Twix in there, and yeah, you're going to have a lot of leftover apples.
Oh, nicely said.
Real well done.
Rob Veno, baby. We did a show today already. Betting Edge, yourself, me, and Dave Koken. It was a real great show. A hell of a lot more information than the shows that we do because, well, this show is... Nah.
This is just awful.
No, this is one of the best shows. This is one of the best shows on the internet, Joe Raneri. What's going on with you, dude? Has ESPN called?
No, I don't. We don't talk to ESPN. We don't. We completely blocked them out of the phone. We don't like them at all. Not a big Disney guy.
So I'm in the process of changing my background images. It's Joe Raneri inspired.
Oh.
So I will let you see them before they go up. I'm hoping to have it ready by Friday, but who the hell knows?
Sounds exciting.
I'm excited, and I have my first 5-unit play in hockey tonight. It's Wednesday, and you can have it for half price. Use the promo code PREZ20 over at WagerTalk.com. Boys, let's get into the first game. What's the problem, Joe?
What are you just dropping bombs in the middle of it? Like, this is supposed to be collective, great minds come together, and you're dropping ads in the middle of the damn show here, man. Like, I don't understand that. You didn't ask Rob or I if we have any codes that we want to hand out.
Okay,
Jesus.
so we'll talk about that. I have about 35 handicappers that work for me, in which
God, here we go.
The two of you are. Anyway, Joe, if you want me to promote your runs, if you want me to give out a promo code for you, why don't you just email me your damn runs? Because the hell I go look.
Oh, exactly. The smoke in here, I can't. It's just, it's blowing, baby. It's blowing in the Prez's direction today, Rob. Get ready for it.
So is that a wall behind you?
It is, as a matter of fact. I put it up last night.
Let Rob go. Just let him go.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that's correct. Don't you worry about it.
Huge win by Michigan last week. I think one of you guys called it. I don't remember which. Now, pick me. Okay, Joe, you called it. Minus 21 playing Maryland, over and under 55. Rob Veno, I start with you first.
Yeah, it's hard to go against them right now, Prez. They are, and I think I've done this before, but if you break down their season and just take that Wisconsin game out, they've put up great numbers all year long, Michigan. So while the nation's a little bit surprised, and I know that expectations are the reason why Michigan came, to the wrath of a lot of bettors and fans and the likes, but they've really been pretty solid. I had Minnesota and Maryland over the total last week, so I paid strict attention to that game. And what you learn about this Maryland defense is that they have not solved anything against the run, especially to the edges. I mean, Minnesota wore them out with wide handoffs all game long. Minnesota winds up in that game running for 321 yards, ran it 54 times. Jim Harbaugh would love to do the same thing now that he's got a running combination that seems to be clicking here with Charbonnet leading the way. So I think that Michigan can be diverse offensively here. Maryland's got a ton of problems, guys. Not just run defense, but injuries, depth shy. Mike Loxley on the sidelines last week, ran out of answers. Looked a little discouraged on the sidelines as well. I know they're home here. I know we shouldn't make a habit of laying 21 with Michigan, but Michigan can be a bully at times. Throughout Jim Harbaugh's stint here at Michigan, he has run up big numbers on teams. So if he gets a chance to, I think he would do it here as well. Their dominance against anybody not named Wisconsin, I mean, at the line of scrimmage, over 2 yards a carry per average. They're better in the trenches. That's yards per rush versus yards allowed per rush. They're beating teams by an average score of 33.5 to 16. They played good people, too. Penn State, Notre Dame, Iowa. So I'm with Michigan here. Like I say, not in the habit of laying 21 with them. But I think that offense at this point in time, especially if you listen to Shea Patterson post-game, I think that offense is starting to come around. They can do some damage. Maryland just isn't very good right now.
So what I'm hearing from you is Michigan is the play.
That's what you're hearing.
Joe Raneri, now that you've cleaned your mouth out with your tongue, what do you like?
Well, I got to tell you, I 100% disagree with Rob here. I think this is the perfect Jim Harbaugh, Michigan. Oh, crap. I need a last-second field goal in order to pull out a game. I should have won by 48 points. This has been one hell of a gauntlet, guys, when you think about it. Last 6 games here from Michigan have included Wisconsin, Iowa, Penn State, Notre Dame. I mean, it has been unbelievable. And now they've got to go on the road there to Maryland, and they have to win a game by more than 3 touchdowns. They're playing some of their best football, and it started with the loss at Penn State. I thought that second half was where something really clicked with Michigan, where we started to see, I think they got it right, and of course that carried over into Man, this has got letdown written all over it. You also have Josh Jackson is I believe he's a kid from Ann Arbor, if I'm not mistaken. So this is he's been hurt. He's played sparingly, but he is the best quarterback that they have. And if he's going here, there's going to be a little extra motivation coming up here. He's going to be motivated. They're going to win, but man, oh man, this game just feels like it's that typical Michigan, like Army, like why are we not winning by 40 points? We're Michigan. I kind of feel like that's the path we're heading down at this point here, Prez.
So to summarize, I got nothing.
Yeah.
Really? Like a fat girl bobbing for apples.
Thank you.
That's all I got.
The Wolverines drowned. That's exactly what you got here. The Wolverines will drown.
Okay. I have no opinion on this game whatsoever, but I much enjoyed listening to the two of you guys taking it apart.
You don't have a code there? No code you want to throw out?
Sure. Thanks for reminding me, Joe.
Okay,
let's throw out a code. Prez is on an 18-7 All Sports run. Get $100 off of his month of plays. Use the promo code PREZ225. Thanks for reminding me, Joe.
Glad I'm here. Really am. Glad.
Rob Veno, Georgia, -6.5 against Florida. Very low total. It's been bet down from 47.5 to 44.5. Where are you going in this one?
And the game's been pushed up, Prez. I mean, there's a boatload of Georgia money, right? Went from 3.5
to 6.5
all the way to 6.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, kind of head scratching from the chair that I sit in here in front of my sports memo background. Florida sometimes returns to the lineup if they're not a quarterback, guys, don't get recognized in the line. But let me just say that Florida's got 3 starters coming back from injury for this game. To start off with, their wide receiver, Kadarius Toney, who's been out for 6 weeks, the best playmaker on the field for them, back in the lineup. Head coach Dan Mullen highlighted that during a press conference earlier this week. And they get 2 big-time starting defenders back. Zuniga, the defensive end, back. Their leading tackler for loss, Jonathan Greenland, back. If you go through their schedules, it's hard to find fault in Florida. They put up 28 points at LSU. They also scored against Auburn, 24 points. If you take the South Carolina game, how about the South Carolina game? Both teams played at South Carolina. Both teams played in rainy conditions. Georgia loses 20-17. Turned it over like crazy. In fact, Georgia, that game was in Athens, excuse me, guys. But still, Georgia at home turns it over 4 times inside the 30-yard line. Jake Fromm responsible for all of those. And Florida goes to South Carolina and puts up 38 points. So bottom line here is Kyle Trask has taken over at quarterback and been very effective. He gets an additional weapon back. Both teams have had a bye. There's no real advantage either way where that's concerned. Do you trust Kirby Smart to get this Georgia offense out of its doldrums? I mean, if they can't run DeAndre Swift, they can't do much of anything, despite how good of a quarterback Jake Fromm is. I'm seriously scratching my head over the line move here. It's on a neutral field, obviously, world's largest outdoor cocktail party. I'll take Florida +6.5. I think the schedule's been better. I think their offense has been better. And I think Dan Mullen's just more creative offensively. If I have to trust one coach here, from an offensive perspective, I'll take him over offensive coordinator James Coley.
As Joe Raneri would do. Rob, do you want to give it a go?
Joe's responsible for that big line move. He emptied his pockets on Georgia.
Yeah, the $6 didn't move a thing.
Yeah.
Joe?
No, actually, it's that's what I used. I used it on a coupon code that the Prez is going to give out here in a minute.
Oh!
Joe 69.
Guys, how about Dave Koken? 62% in college football. He's got a 5% play up for Saturday. It's yours for half price. Use the promo code Dave20. I'm full
Good
of
stuff,
them.
Dave. Where is
Dave,
Dave, by the way? Is Dave? Where is he? Oh, that's right. He's not on this friggin' show.
But he emailed me telling me about it, unlike you idiots. Joe, what do you like in this game?
I'll tell you, I don't like Florida. That's what I don't like. I think Georgia suffers from recency bias on a lot of levels. I do think that people are looking at Jake Fromm and going, oh, what's wrong with him? Listen, there's nothing wrong with him. The kid is much better than I think people are giving him credit because he's stuck in the same damn conference as Joe Burrow and Tua. And so they're getting all the headlines. And meanwhile, quietly, this guy has already beat the Gators twice in his college career. This is the best collection of football talent there is in Georgia that nobody's talking about. They had that rough game against South Carolina. Granted, South Carolina, we've seen that they weren't able to sustain that. It was one of those, it is what it is, guys. But the reality is that offensive line, studs. Fromm is a stud. He's going to be playing on Sundays, guys. I can promise you that. This team is good top to bottom. Also, from a statistical standpoint, one of the best defenses in the SEC, allowing just 267 yards a game. The secondary is rock solid. You're dealing still with a backup quarterback in Kyle Trask in Florida. I think this is exactly the game that we are going to see Georgia play its best football in. They know what is at stake here. I don't. And I know they're getting some help back, Florida is, but Florida was just fine even without those guys in there. I think this is the game that Georgia will come out and be like, and it's on a neutral field in Jacksonville too. So it's going to be rocking, but I trust Fromm more than I trust Kyle Trask. He's already been there. He's already beaten him twice. Give me Georgia to step it up and play the best game of the year.
So to summarize, neither of these two guys can agree on anything. That's all I got, dude.
That was it?
Well, you know what? Not to bring some somberness to the show. Friend of mine's mom died this morning. I had to run to go see them. I had to take my kid to the doctor. I have another promo code.
I'm so glad you didn't want to bring the show down. That's good that you did that. Anybody else sick maybe in a hospital, deathbed, anything else that you want to throw out there? No?
Well, I just didn't have the damn time to get ready for the show, and I admit it. And I also but I am with you, Joe. I agree with you on this play. I think Georgia lays the smackdown.
Ooh, like that.
Yeah, stone cold style. The camel clutch, the DDT, the Hulk Hogan leg maneuver. The Randy Macho Man Savage. I don't know his signature move. But yeah.
Like a stripper in the champagne room, baby.
Florida's going down?
There you go, Prez. Look at that. Very nice. Excellent. Look at that, Rob. Look at that. Set him up, knocks it out. Give us that coupon code. Go ahead.
Prez 225.
Yeah.
Okay, Oregon, what a defense for almost every game, except of late. Playing USC, -5, total of 62.5. That seems like a big number for this Oregon team total-wise. Rob Veno, 8 p.m. game. I will not be watching it. Hockey in Canada on Saturday nights, baby. Oh, did I mention, Joe, I have my first 5-unit play up in hockey tonight.
Really? I had no idea.
Yeah. You can get it for half price. Use the promo code PREZ20, PREZ20.
Wow.
Do you know that a few days ago I had to explain to you ignorant, xenophobic Americans, who I love more than anything in the world,
of course,
that the letter Z is actually pronounced Z throughout the rest of the world? They did not know that. Did you?
No. But they also don't know that you're on quite the streak here and just dropped in your first 5% play, I believe, right?
Yeah, I'm on an 8-7 all sports run. Why, thank you for mentioning that, Joe.
No, not a problem. Yeah.
Rob, Oregon, -4.5, 5 against USC. I think both teams have very similar talent. I can see an upset here.
Very possible. USC, what they've been able to do coming off of the scholarship sanctions and now for the last couple of years that they've been back to the full 85, has really stockpiled talent. There's no question about it. And you see it no more clearly than through the amount of injuries that they've had to deal with their injury list, guys, heading into that Colorado game last week was unbelievable. And it remains just about the same, except for a couple here where they'll get a couple of defenders back, starting defensive end and corner, which will help. But I'm going to stick with what's working the last 2 weeks where Oregon games are concerned, and that's play the over. Prez, like you mentioned, that defense was rock solid until they met up with Jacob Beeson, and the Washington quarterback threw for 289, hit 77% of his passes, and then until they met up with Anthony Gordon, the quarterback of Washington State, who threw for 406 against them last week. The pass rush all of a sudden isn't getting home. The defensive backfield isn't what we thought it was, and these teams that can throw the football, and Washington really is not even known for being able to throw the football, but certainly Washington State is, and they did a number on them last week with 406 yards passing. USC is right in that category. I mean, Keaton Slovis is a tremendous quarterback. They're glad to have him back. That trio of wide receivers, Pittman, Vaughns, and St. Brown, they'll be a handful for Oregon to contain. I think USC can get up and down the field. That being said, I think Oregon can get up and down the field because, as I mentioned, the USC injuries on defense, and this week in articles that I've read, they're still concerned about that side of the football. Justin Herbert, obviously they run it a little better than USC does. Oregon at this point in time is a little better balanced, which helps them as far as moving the football is concerned. For USC, huge game, tied in the Pac-12 South at 4-1 with Utah, and they own the tiebreaker over Utah because they defeated them. So big game for USC, big game for Oregon as well, coming off the 37-35 win last week. I don't think that, that last second win by their freshman kicker and now going to USC represents any type of letdown. I think Oregon will come to play, but I just think the points are going to be plentiful here, guys. The Pac-12 has a reputation for high-scoring games. I think this will feed right into that.
Joe, so basically what Rob is saying is like you on a date. There's going to be a lot of going up and down the field.
Oh, I thought you were. Yeah, that's good. I thought you were going to make a handful reference there. Let me go this way here, if I may.
Please do, Joseph.
Yeah, let me go this way.
I'm just going to kick back and listen.
You really should.
Code Joe69.
Yes, thank you. Right, very good. If you happen to be in the area of sports memo, yes, definitely coupon code 7 days free 69. Something to do with like the Prez at a strip club. There's always something going to be left behind. Okay, so USC at this point playing at home. Oregon, we made a lot about Oregon and that defense of theirs. All throughout the season, except for the last two times they played a team from Washington, which put up 30 points on them. Oregon is the most confusing team I know. They should be better on offense, but they're not. And I think that has more to do with Cristobal than it has anything else. But the defense has always been rock solid until, of course, they haven't been rock solid. And all I know is that USC has continued to improve. The kid Slovis continued to improve. Those wide receivers, I don't care what Oregon has got on the defensive side of the ball. Those wide receivers for USC are a nightmare matchup for them. USC is a different team at the Coliseum than they are on the road. And even when they went to Colorado, they put up a bunch of points there. They've been playing well. They're going to put up a bunch of points in this game, just like Washington State did against this Oregon team. I like them to be able to move the ball consistently. Oregon is a snail's pace. It is the complete opposite of what Chip Kelly built there all those moons ago, where it was hurry up, let's get a play. That's not what Cristobal is. Justin Herbert, he's going to be playing Sundays as well, but unfortunately, I think he got the wrong coach at the wrong time here. And I think Utah is going to love this game because I do think USC is going to pull the upset in here. I think we've got a money line underdog to back here in USC this weekend at home to take care of Oregon.
So like a fat chick bobbing for apples and not chocolate cake.
Yes.
There's the key word here is upset.
Yeah, exactly.
Rob, why don't you wade in with any of this nonsense?
I don't think that the listeners or viewers expect that out of me. I think they expect it out of you two guys. From me, it would be a surprise and probably pretty funny. But, I'll wait till we wrap up the college football season and let loose with one. I'll start working on that.
Speaking of funny, Joe, you have Netflix, right?
Who?
Netflix?
What is that?
Oh, God. Anyway, listeners, check out Bill Burr's latest hour of humor on Netflix. I think it's called Paper Tiger. It's unbelievably funny. It is so
Blur?
good.
What? Bill Blur?
Bill, shut up, Joe. Okay, New England. The Patriots on the road, playing Baltimore. I'll bottom line this for you guys. I've talked about this on the Betting Edge. I'm talking about it on the NFL Presidential Address with Ralph. Rob Veno and I already discussed this. We've both agreed that the 4 worst teams, that never in the history of the NFL have there been 4 teams that are as bad in one season as Cincinnati, Washington, the Jets, and Miami. New England has played those teams 6 times. Then you can add the New York Giants to that list. They got outgained by Buffalo. They won that game by a blocked punt. Yet they're still the New England Patriots. I like Baltimore in this game, but I do not bet against Tom Brady. Rob Veno, take it away.
Yeah, I guess we'll just, believe it or not, Joe, me and Prez were actually doing a little bickering about this when we did the previous show. Not to be on opposing ends or to convince one another that one side was right or one side was wrong, but I do want to bring up the Ravens side of the equation, which is not really that pretty either. The Ravens, when you go through their schedule, have played 2 teams above 500 so far this year. They too have played Cincinnati, Miami. They played Arizona when Arizona was in their first or second game. Their schedule has been weak for the most part. New England's built a lot of gaudy statistics off of a weak schedule. But the point is they've built those gaudy statistics. Number 1 in sacks with 31. Number 2 in pass defense, 149 allowed a game. Number 4 in rush defense, 85.3 a game. Baltimore, on the other hand, with a pretty lousy schedule, has not been able to compile those types of statistics. They're 28th in the league in sacks against a lousy schedule. Only have 12. They're 26th in pass defense. Allowed 265 a game. To their credit, the pass defense has been banged up. I get all of that. But they've really taken 2 different statistical trails here against, not exactly the same schedule, but pretty darn close. Now, Bill Belichick against Lamar Jackson, I would expect Belichick to have something designed to keep him from going off running the football here. Passing-wise, you probably want Tom Brady in any battle against Lamar Jackson. Number here is 3.5, New England on the road. I've thought for a couple of weeks now, starting back to when they played the Jets, that New England's injuries would catch up with them at some point, especially those injuries across the offensive line. But it hasn't really happened. I don't like either way here particularly. A little bit fearful of the Ravens at home because they're such a good home team. But there is a pretty big gap statistically for 2 teams that have played. New England's schedule is worse, but Baltimore's is not great either.
Joseph Raneri, to summarize what Rob was saying, literally like your last 10 dates, both, all schedules just suck.
That's a good point. That's quality.
Shut the hell up. Tell us what you think.
So, I agree with you. The schedule is the schedule, guys. There's no arguing here. You play the teams that you've got to play on Sunday, Thursday, Monday, whatever it is. And by doing so, the Patriots I'm not going to penalize the Patriots for beating the teams that they're supposed to beat. That's what they do. To me, this ultimately comes down to Lamar Jackson versus Bill Belichick's defense. So everyone keeps doubting this defense that they've played nobody. It's not historic. It's not as good as everyone thinks it is, yada, yada, yada. They've given up. Guys have been gashing them on the run. There's going to be a huge... Until there's not, guys. Until there's not. I don't know how many times we got to go through the same crap with the Patriots year after year where we always keep waiting for that shoe to drop. And the reality is Bill Belichick for 20 years has done one thing better than anybody else. Whatever the hell it is you do well, you better have a backup plan because you ain't doing it that well come Sunday when they play you. He will take away, without a doubt, he will take away Lamar Jackson and what it is that they want to do. He has owned Harbaugh over the years, and I don't see how that's going to change. But if I was going to play, I would count a little bit more on possibly the total being under in this game, and do think it will be a run-heavy, short pass-heavy, move the clock, that kind of situation game where before we know it, there'll probably only be, this is 2017, 2014, that kind of situation in it. I would not expect a lot of points to be scored, but I would expect Mohamed Sanu to have a big game. Because he's a matchup nightmare for that secondary and I know they got Marcus Peters. Yay. Well, he sucked in the Rams. He's going to suck here at Baltimore. They've got some issues there, but Belichick, he's been prepping for this game for 3 weeks now, guys. So Baltimore coming off the bye. It's nice. I expect a slugfest, but no way am I going against Bill Belichick in this spot against a pretty one-dimensional quarterback, guys, when you think about it. He's got the horses to slow Lamar Jackson down. We've seen, like what Cleveland did, what happens when Lamar Jackson, you take him away. What are they exactly, this team? It's exactly what New England is going to do. We're going to figure out what they are because they better be something more than just Lamar Jackson running the ball because that ain't going to happen in this game.
Okay. Fair enough. I like the under in this game too, Joe. I like Baltimore. I like the under, but I made a rule a couple of years ago that I won't bet against New England. So I won't bet against New England. However, I do have a parlay, which I never do parlays, but I am on an 18-7 all sports run, Joe.
Really?
So, given that I'm in the zone, feeling hot, kind of groovy,
Okay.
I did a parlay last night, $32 to pay $800. And the first three teams cashed for me: Boston, Pittsburgh, and Nashville Predators, all minus 1.5 goals to the plus money.
Nice.
So I'm live on Baltimore, but I will be hedging that bet. Last game on the board, in this game, Joe, this game reminds me a lot of your Tinder profile.
Oh, I love this. Go ahead.
Everybody's just going to run.
I thought you were just going to swipe right, but go ahead.
Oh, no, Joe.
Yep.
I would be swiping left on your Tinder profile.
A little disgusted with you.
Oh, you'll be okay.
Yeah, a little disgusted.
Dallas,
by the way, there's a rule of thumb.
Dallas
Always
against
swipe
the
right.
Giants, Rob.
Always swipe right. Always swipe right.
Always swipe right?
It doesn't make a difference. Swipe right to everything. You'll figure it out later.
I don't even have, if you take a look, I don't even have, Tinder on here. I got nothing, man. I don't even know how Tinder
more of
works.
a grinder guy, but that's all right. We'll get to that.
Hey, listen, everybody's got a grind, right, Joe?
Hey, exactly it. Like a male stripper.
Hey, Rob Veno is a married guy. All he gets to do is grind.
Yeah, exactly.
See that?
Yeah.
Learn something new every day.
That's it.
So, Rob's kid works at ESPN. He's doing really well, too.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I love ESPN. Love Disney.
Yeah, they're looking for a host, Joe.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
But
what happened? Were you too busy? Or,
well, they swiped you left already.
Oh, I see. Always swipe right. Make the decision later.
Rob, Dallas Giants, what do you like?
I think I like the total. I think both of these offenses are in pretty good shape in this game. Now, they played once already, start the season, 35-17. Giants with Eli Manning at that stage. Now with Daniel Jones, a little bit different offense, a little bit more mobility out of the quarterback. But really, the same two teams, guys. There's not much different now that Dallas is healthy across the offensive line again. They were able. It makes such a difference in the way Dak Prescott plays when he has all his weapons together. Not that it wouldn't for about 28 other quarterbacks across the NFL, but when they were shy Amari Cooper when they were shy Michael Gallup, when they didn't have Teron Smith at left tackle, banged up on the offensive line. Dak had about a 3-game spell where he didn't play very well. All these guys come back. They look real good once again, very diverse offensively, can run it, can pass it. And I think for the Giants, with Saquon Barkley back, the same exists. The last couple of games, now they played Arizona in the rain, moved the football pretty well, but had some hiccups once they got into Arizona territory. Actually had a missed field goal from close range. Come back last week against Detroit, moved the football pretty well. Couple of hiccups again. They wound up with, I think, 20 plus points. I could see this game getting over pretty easily here. Like what Jones has, especially if Sterling Shepard's able to clear this concussion protocol finally. If he's back, then I really like the over. But from both perspectives here, both sides of the coin, I like the diversity of these offenses, the ability to have a big play back and use that back to open up the passing game or vice versa. And I just don't think that the defenses have enough to stop the two from scoring enough to get this one over the total. So that's the way I'll look. As far as the side is concerned, I really don't have a play. I'll leave that to Joe. We seem to come up with a correlating parlay on the last game, USC and Oregon. Maybe we can do so again.
Love that.
Okay, deep voice Dr. Love. Take us home, baby.
To summarize here, just so you guys understand.
Prez 225.
That's right.
Prez 225. That's $100 off of a month of my plays. Just head over to WagerTalk.com. Use the promo code Prez225.
Love that. I definitely think that America's team here, the Dallas Cowboys, is going to continue to get much love, much money, and I think we're going to continue to see this line increase for the New York Giants. I very much like a good children's book. I love the hook, man. Give me the hook here at 7.5. If you guys can get it. All right, if you can get Captain Hook here, you grab this because I think this game's going to be a hell of a lot closer than people think. But I'm also with Rob on a situation that points, and more points. And I do think Leonard Williams, the additional Leonard Williams there in the front, is going to help them a little bit. Of course, stopping the run, which is always a concern when you're taking on the Dallas Cowboys and Ezekiel Elliott. So I think Dak and Danny Dimes are going to be chucking the ball around the yard here. I do think there's going to be points, but I think Danny Dimes' backdoor, he loves his backdoor, like the Prez, at a good rub and tug. You always like the back door, all right? And that's exactly what we're going to get here.
The old rusty trombone?
Right, it's exactly. You're going to get the shocker, and we're going to go ahead and get the hook and give us points. So I'm with you, Rod. Let's give me the 7.5 and give me the over in this, and let's call it a day.
Mucho.
So to summarize the entire show, remember that fat chick bobbing for apples? Like Joe asking her out on a date.
Ooh.
He will go over.
Yes.
Now, the skinny chick on the kayak that was just about to tip, she ain't going over. Not with Joe. Okay, Rob, why don't you take us home and we'll get this show finished?
To summarize, Rob, to summarize, like a crackhead on his pipe, the Prez sucked the life right out of this goddamn show.
Bam! I love you guys.
Fantastic, guys.
You guys were great, really. Let's do this again.
Absolutely.
We're just dead silence for a minute.
Yeah. Let's go there. Are we done here? Because I got things to do. We good?
What do you got to do, Joe?
I gotta get the hell. I gotta go. I gotta come back and do in-game live here tonight, man. I got to live with Game 7 here.
Do you even get paid to do that?
Nice.
No, the only thing I don't get paid to do is hang out with your lame
This
ass
stupid.
here.
I have a bottle of scotch for you, Joe. Where's your address?
Scotch ass. Fucking scotch tape. I don't want to hear it. I'm out of here. You guys suck ass. Rob, always a pleasure.
Bye, everyone.
Thanks, Joe.
Goodbye. Talk to you guys.
Take care, guys.